The Vostro 3360 is Dell's new affordable 13.3-inch business notebook. Developed especially for corporate use, the Dell Vostro 3360 is sturdy and decently beautiful, while providing good everyday performances and plenty of connectivity options, all with a proper price tag. This clip will tell you the details you need to know if you're considering buying this laptop, so tag along. We're going to start our video review for the Dell Vostro 3360 by taking a look at the exterior. If you're familiar with the Vostro line, you'll quickly recognize the silver aluminum and dark gray rubbery plastic used for this notebook's case. Aesthetically, it's sober and restrained, without trying to impress, just like most other business laptops out there. The build quality is good and the entire body is sturdy, as the lid cover, palm rest, or even the keyboard barely flex under pressure. Despite the solid feel, the Vostro 3360 is pretty compact, with its 0.8-inch thick body that weighs about 3.7 pounds. Of course, it's not really in the same class as the Dell XPS 13, but it's way more compact than its predecessor was, the Vostro 3350. The ports are lined on the sides, and you'll notice that they are placed towards the back of the laptop, which is always great. On the left, you'll find the PSU, two USBs and the HDMI port, plus a cooling grill. On the right, there's a headphone microphone jack, another USB, a card reader and a LAN adapter. There are some things on the back as well: a Kensington lock, a SIM card slot and a VGA output. Our test unit came with cellular connectivity, available as an extra option, so if you'll buy your Vostro 3360 without it, you won't get the SIM card slot on the back. Oh, and I should also mention the speakers and the status LEDs placed on the front edge. Turning the laptop upside down, you'll notice a rather ugly underbelly dressed in silver aluminum with bizarre looking cooling grills and a bay that will allow you to quickly access the internals. The battery, however, is encased, thus non-removable. Lifting the lid cover, you'll notice that the interior is covered in the same dark grey rubbery plastic that we found on the exterior as well, and it feels good, provides grip and won't easily catch smudges. The palm rest is decently spacious, with a discrete fingerprint reader on the right side and some buttons on top. The keyboard is surrounded by a chromed rim and there's glossy plastic between the keys, which looks a bit cheap and will scratch and catch fingerprints. The screen's bezel is covered in the same plastic, but it is a bit wider than I'd like to, which kind of makes the Vostro 3360 a bit larger than some of the other 13.3-inch laptops. There's an HD webcam on top, with stereo microphones, and it will work just fine with Skype or other chatting programs. As for the screen itself, my test unit came with a Mate one. It's a 13.3-inch 1366 by 768 pixels display with a TN panel, so there's nothing impressive about it. In fact, it's not bad overall, as long as you manage to properly adjust the viewing angles, providing decent brightness and colors, although the contrast is poor, as blacks are quite washed out on the screen. But after seeing the IPS panels other producers bundle on their business laptop, you'd be expecting better from Dell as well, although perhaps not in this price range. I should also tell you a couple of things about the keyboard and the trackpad. The keyboard is decent, the keys are properly sized and spaced, provide good feedback and travel, and are some of the quietest I've seen in a while, but they just feel a bit wobbly, a bit spongy, which resulted in an inconsistent typing experience, as I didn't feel confident I was typing the right letters without actually having to double check my output. My test unit came with the standard splash-resistant keyboard and not the backlit version, which is available as an extra option on Dell's configurator. The trackpad is, however, excellent. It could have been wider, that's true, but it feels and works just fine even when dealing with basic gestures or palm ejection. And the thing I appreciate the most about this trackpad? It comes with independent, dedicated click buttons, which I feel should be a must for every serious business laptop. The Dell Vostro 3360 is available in a bunch of different configurations, all built around Intel ULV platforms. My test unit came with a Core i5-3417U processor, integrated Intel graphics, 4GB of memory and a standard 320GB hard drive. The laptop is overall snappy in daily tasks, including working with office programs, using a browser with several tabs opened, listening to music, chatting on Skype, etc. It can deal with video content as well, and even some games, as long as they are older or not that complex. For more details about performances, including some tests and benchmarks, you should see the review on tlbhd.com. There's a link in the description below that will take you straight there. Of course, the looks and the solid build quality are not enough to make this laptop a proper business machine. That's why Dell bundles it with Windows 7 Professional by default, offers a quick recovery button and Dell Pro support or accidental damage service, plus some extended warranty options. And there's the 3G cellular module as well, that will allow you to get online whenever you'll need an internet connection. Back to regular stuff, the Dell Vostro 3360 runs fairly cool and quiet while dealing with daily tasks, and it doesn't get too hot or noisy, not even when pushed. The fan will become active even when dealing with light tasks though. Thus, this computer is not completely quiet, but that was expected given its slim body. The two speakers placed on the front edge were fairly okay as well. They do provide good punch for their tiny size, but the sound coming out of them is a bit blunt and flat. There's a 4-cell 49 Wh battery encased inside this laptop, non-removable. That's enough for about 4 to 4.5 hours of life during daily use, which isn't bad, but it's not impressive either, considering that other business laptops in this class can run for longer. As a side note, the battery took more than 3 hours to charge, which I did not expect, considering that this laptop comes with a 65 Wh charger, rather massive for this class. Like I said before, Dell offers the Vostro 3360 in a bunch of different configurations with prices starting at $599. But that base model is equipped with an older generation Core i3 CPU, so if you want the latest Ivy Bridge Core i5, you'll have to pay at least $800 for a Vostro 3360. Adding extra options like a backlit keyboard, a faster processor, or going for another color option can easily get your config close to $1,000. All in all, the Vostro 3360 is a laptop you should consider if you're looking for a portable machine suited for business environments. It's solid and beautiful in its unobtrusive way, which makes it good for life on the road. The connectivity options will come in handy and the matte screen helps as well, although it's not really the best out there. Besides that, the laptop is overall punchy enough for the daily tasks it will be usually required to perform. Of course, it has its issues, with the poor battery life as a main concern, but for the money, you'll hardly find a better business 13.3-inch laptop right now, although you should at least consider Ultrabooks as well if you're willing to spend close to $1,000 for your next notebook. That's about it with this video review for the Dell Vostro 3360. You should also check out the written post, there's a link towards that in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this clip, in which case I'd ask you to share it to your friends, like it and subscribe to our channel. More interesting clips will be available in the next days. Until next time, thank you for watching, Mike out.